Hi guys, hello, meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. Let me make sure the sound is working correctly. I tested it beforehand, but you know how this internet is. Things can screw up when you least expect it. So let's make sure it's working. I see sound here. Let's make sure it's clear. Yes, it is. Okay. So I was just using QuickTime Player to just check to see the sound was working, and it is. And so today, of course, I wanted to let you know, as I said in a vlog earlier, that I talked to the people at the equipment shop, the music shop that's sold me the mixer, that they send it out to the manufacturer to do some board level repair because there was something wrong with the output stage of the power supply. So I have no idea when that's going to be coming back. So without any further ado, let's get to the desktop, and I'm going to answer a couple of questions same time that people have asked me. So let's switch over to this, and I'll just put my camera on standby so I don't have a problem with that in the future. So let's go ahead and minimize these windows so we can focus on things. And you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but if you look over here, you see my cursor is much bigger than it was beforehand. And I made it larger so that we could definitely have a better time seeing the screen and making it easier for you to see what I'm doing as well. So let me just, I can pull this down a little bit more, and there we go. A couple square inches of space always helps. And so since obviously I can't hear anything anyway, there's no phone call, there's no reason to use the headphones. I just don't need to use them today because there's nothing to hear. I just had them on just to check to make sure everything is working. And the main thing here I'll discover is we are, of course, doing our live stream tonight, like always, and I'm hoping we're going to have some communications. I did a couple of videos about some of the adaptive accessibility technology for the blind and the legally blind and the deaf blind. It was quite an interesting piece. Remember, when I came back from Arkansas Enterprises for the Blind, that was in 1988. And in 1988, the technology was completely different. We didn't have book cartridges from the National Recording Service of the Blind. Did not do books on digital SD cards. So that was a major difference. So there was no book readers like that. We didn't have Kindles. We didn't have iPads. We didn't have iPods. And we sure the hell didn't have iPhones. No, actually, I think we had iPods. But no, we didn't. Actually, I stand corrected. Not 1988 anyway. So there's a lot of new technology out there for the blind, and that's explained by many people. And I'm not going to sit there and rehash everything that they have discussed. What I am going to do is I want to see if everything is working correctly. So let me go to new window. Let's see. I was checking out something else on. So that's Finder. I don't want to go to Finder. I want to go to. I want to go to this program. Thank you. All right. So I was just checking a few things in the dashboard, and I was going to check the live stream, see how it's coming in, because you know as well as I do that with the new technologies that we have. Oh, I don't even know I changed the date on this, did I? I think you did. If you think so, I think so. Well, no, I don't know either. Let me just check. It doesn't really matter anyway. Yeah, I did not adapt the date. Oopsies. Okay, I'll fix that right now. This is the 15th. Yeah, okay. 15th. It's 14th. 14th. Okay, cool. So, as I said, I'm the big 5-0. I don't feel that old. I really don't. remember when I started out with videos, I was just a young person. I didn't really have this type of technology back in 1988. That would have been a much better opportunity because my eyesight was better back then. But I'm still taking your questions, and that is exactly what we're going to do. So I don't really have a topic because I tried to create one last time, and one of my users kind of complained because he said to me is, I could read the news just as easily by myself. Plus, he said I'm a fan of Logan Paul. Well, okay, so what are we going to talk about? I mean, we can cover almost anything. We could talk about computer technology, adaptive technology for the blind. How has the modern computer era hurt or helped us to be capable of doing things? And one thing that people asked me was, I think it was Beaver who asked me, is would it be excellent for you to have access to the, I was just trying to see if we have any top streams. Nope, we're doing good. Okay, that's great. That's a start. That's an excellent start. Let's see, my on-screen video meter is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Alright, so you gotta be careful not to accidentally erase or shut off that program. Nobody wants to be sitting in the digital dark, right? Okay, I'm gonna type something on the screen too, so you here. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight this cursor. Okay, I am here and online. Please ask your questions and I will respond as quickly as I can. Okay, so now you know that I'm online and that you're not looking at a mirage. So hopefully we can get some questions in. So, Ruben asked me what I thought about the new proposed changes to the Department of Agriculture's SNAP program. And I think it's a great idea because we mentioned food deserts, urban food deserts in the cities, where one of the biggest problems is a lot of urban and suburban people who do not have transportation, do not always have access to fresh fruit and vegetables. So it would be a great idea. And I hope it will happen, especially if we can save $120 billion from the Department of Agriculture. That means that we would have more resources to feed more people. The program is still kind of tentative because at this point, Congress has not yet even considered it at this point. But if it does get passed, it would be a great thing. But like one of the people says, what if you have food allergies to certain food items? Like I'm allergic to mayonnaise. Now I cannot eat mayonnaise at all because it puts me in anaphylactic shock. So I have absolutely agree with that. If you got an allergy, say for example to peanut butter or eggs or anything like that, a box of food that's toxic to you. Well, I have not blocked any questions. Okay, okay, so what is your question? Just type your question again. I don't have anybody's questions blocked. I know that some of you guys have asked me about this. But no questions are blocked. If you think your question has any kind of cuss words, curse words, or things like that, just don't use cuss and curse words. And I don't have it set to block anything. Let me just double check this here. Time spans, participate minutes, moderators. Okay, let me just double check that just to make sure there's any moderators in here. I don't have any scheduled, but yeah. Let's see. We got Lumi, we got Esmeralda Rivera, and we have At Home with Rhonda. I haven't seen Esmeralda. And I have seen Rhonda, but she hasn't been on YouTube lately. So I don't have anybody blocked at this point. So let's double check the settings just to make sure that we are okay here. I do not see anything where enable snow Lomo is off. automatic block spam messages. Those is off. So if for some reason your chat question didn't show up, I can't see why it wouldn't show up. I've had problems with this before. But no, I do not have it set to block anybody's messages. However, there is one thing. If you do use nasty cuss languages, there is a filter. It says, maybe make a point posting your timeline 30 minutes. Okay. So, okay, what's this here? This is something about this new top chat. Oh. Okay. That's right, there's a new chat program now. Oh, it's too bad it's not the one that I would like to have seen used, but it's what is in here. Come on, let's go. Hit done. Okay, I can opt out of this top chat, so let me do that. Let's see. Top chat. Okay. All messages are visible. Thank you. That's what I want to see. Alright, so now out on the wire, we're on what we call top chat, which is something new that YouTube came up with. I just turned that off, so now we should be able to see your comments. You also got the stupid top chat, live chat thingy on the other window. Do I? Oh. Let me double check that. Because we changed the settings, so maybe... Yeah, let me just check this real quick, guys, because I want to make sure I don't have any problems. Top chat is something new that they just created, and they kind of opted me into it. So let me turn this off. Let's switch this back to all chat messages. So now, out on the wire, would you please repost your question? You are not blocked. And I just switched it to all questions. Oh, okay. Well, shorten it down and try again, and I turned off any kind of filtering, so you guys should not have to worry about that. There is exceptions, of course, and I want to talk about those. YouTube, really quickly, has been trying to kind of clean up the environment. And, okay, are there any organizations that help people with disabilities get placed in the workforce? In Connecticut, if you were legally blind, you can go through the Board of Education Services for the Blind, which is a state-run agency. And in Massachusetts, it would be the Mass Commission of the Blind. If you have other disabilities, you can get in contact with your local rehabilitation services in your state. If that helps you any. So, in other words, I'm going to type that in too, just so we all understand that, okay? So, here it is. Depends on the state. Some offices are called Department of Rehabilitation Services. And I got a personal phone call. Oh, hold on a minute. Hello? Okay, good. I'm glad you got it all fixed.
But yeah, I didn't bother with the corrections right now at the PayPal, but that sure would be a problem. I wrote it all down and everything. I got the main ones I wanted in there, so the eBay and the Facebook.
What's that now?
I got the main ones I wanted in there, the eBay and the Facebook. The other ones I didn't.
Right, eBay, and then that's connected to your Big Ed account on your PayPal account. I don't know if that's a Big Ed with a capital E or Big Ed with a lower B. And
One of the Facebooks and two of them, Michelle.
I gave you both of them. One's Michele, one is edwardmitchno3@gmail.com, and the other one is the one that you originally killed off, which was edmitchen59. That one you killed off.
One of the Facebooks that it popped up is no good anyway. It's got some other guy got in there. I don't know how. It might even be. So I'm not interested in using that one anyway.
You mean emitchn59?
I don't even know this guy, so I don't use that one anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, right now I have to finish my live show because I'm on the air right now. So Just send me a text message, just like I sent you, or an email message, and I will get back to you, okay? Alright. Yep, bye. That was Ed. He's still kind of getting himself situated. Here in Canada, we have organizations that work with employers for suitable jobs. There is some organizations that do that in Connecticut, but to get into them, you have to go through either the Board of Education Services for the Blind, if you're blind, or any kind of blindness, legal blindness. You got to go through the Board of Education Services for the Blind, which has both a juvenile and adult services. If you have other disabilities, such as mental retardation, you can also go through DMR. But if you have, a good start would be to get in contact with your rehabilitation services on the state level. There are some 501c3s that do it as well. And I don't know of any of them right now in Connecticut, except for the ones I just mentioned. Though that's nice that Canada has something good like that, because I know, as I said, there are some states that do it too, but I don't really know anything about this. And it's funny, guys, when I got in contact with Board of Education Services for the Blind, they wanted me to, well, they wanted me to find a job working with somebody else. The problem is that they said we cannot help you relocate to get to the job. And I said, well, then what good is that? You can give me a job in the middle of, in a major city, but if you can't offer any kind of assistance for me to relocate, even if it's a one-time moving grant, I'm not going to be able to move to get to that job because I don't have a car. I can't drive. So I would have to pretty much figure out how I would get there. So unfortunately where I live, there is no jobs of any significance for handicapped that are available by mass transit. Because our mass transit only works from about 8:30 to about 3:30. So you can't work a 9-to-5 job for that reason. Or let's put it this way. You can get to work easy enough in Torrington, but you won't be able to get home. Okay? So which means that it'd be a one-time shot deal. In other words, you could take the bus to work, but you would have to call it either hail Uber or a cab. If you can get an Uber or a other one there, Uber. There's a local Uber. So, is there anything you can do from home, like telemarketing and such? Yeah, it's a good thing you asked me about that, because YouTube is going to be hiring 10,000 people to review videos. And more than likely, you'll be reviewing them on your computer. It would be definitely a good telecommuting job. Unfortunately, when I was going to get an application, and I clicked on the application, it didn't give me an application or where to send my resume to or anything. It was just a plug for the new program from Resource Finder. And there was no place to send a resume. There was no way to send an email. It was just, here's what we're up to. I was like, what kind of crap is this? You're going to tell me to go ahead and send in a resume, an interview. Where do I send it to? So, working from home, reviewing videos for YouTube would have been an excellent opportunity. But ResourceFinder.com did not give any contact information where to send an application or a resume. So that kind of blew that wide. And I wasn't the only one who was upset about it, because I read the comments from ResourceFinder.com, and all the people said the same thing: is what a crock of crap. They really are going to go. They're telling about this great opportunity, and they're not telling us where to send our resume or email or anything. No contact information. This is totally bogus. So I got so mad at Resource Finder that I had to unsubscribe after that. I said, this is a pile of crap. Same thing with trying to apply for grants. They're trying to tell me, they're trying to get me into this spam trap, and I just like, what? So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to find another way to create a gainful employment. And this is one of the reasons why this channel is so important, is that I am able to reach out to people, and maybe I can find others that may have some information or heads up. Maybe say for example, who to contact about the Google opportunity, for example. Maybe somebody knows the right people to contact, or who I need to send an email to, a resume to. You could always send me that kind of information. So let me just type in where you can send it to, just so you know. Okay, it's BICHLA3@gmail.com. Okay, is the email address to send personal information to. Okay, so that means that's how you can send that to me, and then I can look at that and then contact the appropriate people. I've already explained to a couple of my friends that I want to consider relocating to a better environment, because as much as I like Winsted, as much as I've been here pretty much since I was a freshman in high school, this town has gone down the shitter. Really. There's no jobs. And part of the reason is that the state of Connecticut makes brain-dead decisions. So companies don't want to come here. I already covered that before, so I'm not going to rehash that again. Unfortunately, if you did find a job in Winston, a lot of them require the ability to have a car of your own, and that is, again, where I am basically locked out of a lot of potential opportunities. So yes, like I said, that YouTube job opportunity did interest me. You know, I think that is kind of sad. You got the brains. I got the brains. I've got the time. Miller time. Yep. So. Alright, great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Also, related to what I do here on YouTube, I got in contact with the company that is servicing the mixer, and they said that there's something wrong with the power supply output. They think that either it's got a blown diode or a blown voltage regulator. I'm not going to go into all the details, just to say that they're sending it to the factory to see if Behringer is just going to replace it outright, or if they're going to fix it and then return it. I don't personally care either way. I really kind of would just like to get it back right away, but I understand that it has to go through a full examination, and they told me that when they got the mixer at the shop, they said the thing wouldn't even turn on. And I said to myself, that's weird. The word's fine when I unplugged it and put it in the box. It's just the VU meter was broken and the power LED didn't go on. They said it wouldn't even turn on at all. So then we don't even know if they actually hooked it up to an audio source either. So we'll have to see what happens. Okay, who else do we have on? Any more questions? This is perfect, because today we actually got people right away. I'm really awesome about that. Let me just double check to see how we're doing in the participations. I always say precipitants. It's just me and him. Okay. Okay. Let me answer one other question right now. You guys have asked me, correct. I would have to work, like he says here, I think there is definitely opportunity for you online. You would have to work at a comfortable pace due to your pressure of your eyesight. Well, when you say pressure, I think you mean eye strain, and the fact is that my eyesight and my hearing are atrocious. Yes, I would have to do something differently. And that's one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel originally, was to get myself out there in the community, so that other people, as I said, who might be more knowledgeable, such as other people who are legally blind or have hearing loss, that could, maybe help me network and find the right opportunities. But also, eventually, I was hoping that this channel was going to become, if it was just a small pocket money channel, to keep the bills paid. Which is still an interesting issue because YouTube is still scrambling to figure out what to do with the situation. It's still, pretty interesting. But let me just say what I was going to say. I want to go back to this out on the wire. People have asked me this, are you deleting emails or messages from people on your YouTube channel? No, I'm not. One of them, which is the next Christian, he likes to leave little time points. And then after he uses the time points, he deletes them. And I said to him, please don't do that, because it just shows up as a message, and they think I'm blocking them. So if you just leave the time points alone, just you leave a message with a time point, that's fine. Maybe, just maybe, you could leave a little note with that so that people can actually see why you're giving things in hours, minutes, in seconds, so that they can look at themselves. I think that's a good idea. I think so too. Now, one more thing. I'm going to go back to the main thing here, which is my handicaps. I'm not absolutely sure, but I got a feeling that within 10 years, I got a feeling I'm going to be profoundly deaf. I'm not absolutely sure about that, but I know my right eye definitely is pretty bad. My right eye is never going to come back to 2020. Because it never was 2020, first of all, but it'll never be clear anymore because the cataract that is in my right eye is not serviceable. They cannot remove it because of my lateral nystagmus and my legal blindness. If they try, it would actually potentially result in a detached retina or a secondary infection. TN, yes, I know he is. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try. So I don't want you guys to think I'm trying to jump. You guys have told me lots of time is you hate when I jump around back and forth in these comments. Well, I'm going to try to finish the thought before I read your comments. Okay, but I'll make them short. So because of my eyesight, I had to make my cursor much bigger. I'm going to show you. I don't know if you can see how big this is. But I made it a lot bigger. You can see it looks pretty close to normal size here. But it actually is twice the original size. Only for distance. For close-up work, I gotta take my glasses off. I cannot leave them on for close-up work. My eyesight is kind of locked, kind of like an in-between, is really locked in towards close-up. So, unfortunately, eyeglasses help for distance, but they do nothing for me for reading close-up at all. In fact, that's one of the reasons why it sucks. But what does help, and you probably may not realize this large text on the screen. It's not just for the YouTubers to see. It's also for me to see, so that I can see the comments without basically sticking my nose right on top of the monitor. I am about a hand span from the monitor right now, so I can see more of the complete screen, which is a step in the right direction. Now, let me ask you out on the wire a couple questions. You live in Canada, and what kind, as far as you know, what kind of opportunities are available for people with legal blindness in Canada? What kinds of jobs are available for them versus the United States? I just kind of curious, since Canada chooses to use a whole different paradigm for those who needs in the United States. In the United States, a lot of times we're basically told, depending on the state you live in, either A, you're going to have to make it yourself, or we'll go ahead and we'll give you everything you need. And unfortunately, Connecticut used to be the latter, and because of the budget cuts, Connecticut has become more of the former, which is, okay, Michelle, you got Social Security disability, you buy your adaptive equipment, you buy your adaptive tools, you buy your assistive technology. Yeah, since you can get all this stuff on eBay and Amazon anyway, so you don't need our money. Have you ever tried to price a Braille display? A refreshable Braille display, because I can read Braille too. It's ridiculous. About $3,000 for a 40-cell Braille display for my computer. $3,000. Well, I could do receptionist easy enough. Customer service positions. Maybe I could easily do. I'm more trained in food service, as I originally was a food service dishwasher, a restaurant. So I am more skilled in food service industry. Sure, probably I could be a maitre d' hotel at a restaurant that, greets people, checks out. But when my hearing loss, that would still be a train wreck because of that reason. Because everybody forgets that when you have legal blindness and hearing loss, it's a double screw. Yeah, that was told something similar in Connecticut too. But the problem is, that's great, but that doesn't necessarily help for the individual who's trying to, who needs adaptive technology on their own for their own, independent living skills. Those people have to buy their crap out, and I mean, some of it that we can get, the cheap stuff, is really very rudimentary. And it's, for example, if I want to add something called high marks to my controls of my cooker, my hob, I would have to go ahead and buy the high marks myself on Amazon. And I would have to put it on my knobs myself. Or I can have somebody put the little dimples of high marks on my knobs. Now, of course, it's an electric stove, so I kind of figured out basically where the position where the knob was. I had the displeasure of living in a house with a glass top stove for a while. The yellow house had a glass top stove. Even if I managed to put the high marks on the knobs, I was always in danger of getting burned because I had to put my arm over a very hot stove. Yes, I unfortunately am multiply handicapped in so many ways. And yes, my opportunities go right through the floor. But that's one of the reasons why this channel is so important. Because it gives information, as I said. Maybe other people with some of the same disabilities I have can come to and go, hey, how is she doing it? Why can't I do the same thing, By the way, let me go back to what I was saying. So, for me, I do not feel comfortable with electric stoves at all as it is. But, unfortunately, when it's a glass top stove, glass stays hot for a while. And because you have to reach over the hot surface to adjust the temperature of an electric stove, there's always the risk of getting burned. And that's one of the reasons why there's a few electric stoves like the Glenwoods that have the knobs in the front, but most of them are gas. I like gas anyway because gas heats nice and fast and it's got a big blue flame and I can see it better. But even so, if you are legally blind or and have some vision, you have two things going for you with gas. One, you got at least most stoves are natural gas, you got the hiss sound, which tells you that you got a gas is flowing. Plus, you also got the smell of the meltdown captain. Okay, so you can always tell if for some reason the pilot goes out, or if the sparking electronic ignition is not working, or maybe you didn't turn it all the way over to get the electric sparker to go on. Tick 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 tick. Yeah, I kind of do that when I get the opportunity. In fact, right now, like I said, I'm playing around with VoiceOver by Apple. But I'm not the only one who's done that. But I haven't really migrated everything to use VoiceOver yet, because I just turned that on for testing. And like I said, just seeing me here on this channel, just like how Casey sees it. Same thing with her. She is legally blind. She's trained as an actress. And she's also been inspiring me, because I've been inspiring her too, because she is a legally blind actress. She's got vision just like mine. And so she has been doing a YouTube channel too. It's called How Casey Sees It. And she covers the same basic opportunity as I do. If you look at the latest video I did, the BCast, computer software for the blind, you will see in my description of the video, you'll see her link to one of her videos on How Casey Sees It. Great video. Absolutely a wonderful thing to see. She demonstrates perfectly everything that I have to go through every friggin' day. From trying to eat a meal to basically trying to do small things. She didn't try to show you how to thread a needle to sew, but I could do that. It's almost like trying to light the candle she was trying to do. Hi, Ruben. How you doing? You can hear the sound is sounding good today. And I was just talking to out on the wire about handicaps and disabilities that I go through, and how this channel has become, for some people who have multiple handicaps like legal blindness and partial deafness, a resource that they can actually go to. Me and How Casey Sees It, and also the Tommy Edison experience. He's totally blind. Is also a wonderful resource. If you want to see how a totally blind person does everything he does. He doesn't even have light perception anymore. He only had light perception as a child and as a young man. And then he got cataracts in his eyes, and well, he lost his light perception too. And then there's a woman in Australia, her name is Heather. She's blind deaf. And I found her video really inspiring for me, because I'm also going deaf too. So she has something called Usher's syndrome. I don't have Usher's. I don't even really know what it is, but I know I don't have it. So why don't we ask Ruben, what do you think of the adaptive technology that is now available for the handicapped in the modern computer era? I know you are using a Macintosh like I am. You're using a much newer one than I am. And do you have any students in your classes that are legally blind or blind? And if so, how do you see them using technology to make their studies easier, from what you can see as a professor? And I have to remember there is going to be a delay. So if you're wondering why I'm pausing, it's so I can hear your comments and before I keep talking. So at least you can say is that I'm not ignoring you. So if I'm not ignoring you, so if you see a pause, it means I'm waiting for comments. Having seen the resource at the university level, there is a plethora of tools available. Well, that's excellent. The list is endless. How do the students, do the students have to buy their own materials and textbooks and adaptive technology, or is all of this provided for the students, say, through a disabilities office? Like we had the Center for Students with Disabilities at UConn when I was a student. But they didn't really provide any adaptive technology so much. They had access to some on-campus work, but they didn't really have anything for students to make it easier for them to do their class assignments at home. So that means that the student, of course, that's back in 1995, so things are different then. We didn't have Kindles, we just started getting iPods. So how did the students that need the adaptive equipment get it? Did they use their student loans to help pay for the equipment? Or did they have family help finance it? Or did they do both? In my case, my eyesight wasn't so bad back then. Oh, well, okay, that's good, because in Connecticut, UConn does not do that at all. The Center for Students with Disabilities at UConn did not pay for or provide adaptive equipment for the students. They had to work with either the Board of Education or Bureau of Rehabilitation Services for the Blind, Bureau of Rehabilitation Services, or BRS, which took care of every other disability except for two. They did not deal with the Department of Mental Retardation, and they did not deal with people with developmental disabilities, including Asperger's. Okay. And I was registered too, but I didn't get any crap out of it. But they did provide things like note takers and things like that, which was pretty nice. But I also did provide tutors to help you study for lessons, but it was really hard for me to get a tutor to help me study my foreign language, which was Italian, which just really sucked, because I really liked Italian. I wanted to finish the study. By the way, if you ever wanted to see one of the things that a lot of people... Oh, okay, that's interesting. Employees also. So, is your school, by the way, a private school, or is it a state-run school, like the University of Connecticut is? Because UConn is a state-run university, or is it a private university? Because I don't know anything about your university at all. By the way, for those of you who, and I just did also, like I said to out on the wire, caseworker, if there's any help for her on software. Well, the Power Mac G5 and the Intel Core 2 Duo Mac has the adaptive tools provided by Apple. And I don't really see a major problem with either one. Employers are provide. Okay, maybe in your state, but I do know that in Connecticut, employers under the Americans with Disabilities Act do have to provide some essential services to disabilities, but I don't know how far they will go. Because the Americans with Disabilities Act is required that there has to be access to for all people, which is a good thing. But how much they have to provide, I can't say. Okay, it is a state school. Okay. One of the things I noticed that some adaptive equipment for the blind is extremely expensive. For example, if you ever want to get a refreshable braille display, which I've considered getting for this Mac, only because it might be a nice ability to refresh my braille skills, no pun intended. It would cost me about almost $3,000 to get one, even on Amazon.com. They never really particularly mentioned to me from Board of Education Services for the Blind of adaptive technology like a braille display. Right, but what if you're not working though? That's the main thing. I mean, in my case, this is my job. This is pretty much what I do, as I explain that out on the wire. So, I mean, there's, if you are not working for somebody else, and you need the technology, and the Board of Education Services for the Blind here in the state of Connecticut is under such budget constraints that they cannot easily provide the adaptive technology that you feel you would benefit from. Okay, out on the wire. We'll see you later too. Yeah, it does. For employment services, vocational rehabilitation services. But it does not necessarily provide adaptive equipment for personal home use. So if I want to get a refreshable braille display on this Mac, I have to buy it myself. And it's like, the cheapest one I saw is about $2,500 on Amazon. Now, that's great if you were, if you had been working and you have a huge chunk of money in your savings account. But if you don't, forget about it. Because, fortunately enough, my vision has not gotten so bad that I cannot enlarge my screen and make it huge. For example, I can make this screen huge a lot of ways. But I do want to refresh my braille skills. I really do think I need to redo that because I haven't used my braille in years, and I do think I would benefit from it. Because my right eye, which used to be my best eye, is now my worst eye. My best eye is now my left eye, which is doing good, but my right eye is a shot. Depending on the lighting levels, I can see okay, or sometimes I can't. So, let me show you guys something. Right now, I want to show you something about something I was looking up here on Amazon. So let me go to Amazon. I'm not going to ignore you. I just want to show you something. So let me go to my Amazon page. Okay, www.amazon.com. Okay, and I want to show you the kind of adaptive technology that is available. For the I definitely am considering for a variety of purposes. And besides, obviously, is learning how to keep things working. Like this one here, it's a USB braille display. They also infamous note takers too. But I'm going to show you this real quick here. This one here, the one that is HMS Smart Beetle Braille Bluetooth USB Ultra Portable Braille Display Keyboard, is $995. Okay, now I'm gonna blow this up. No, actually, it looks pretty big. I don't think I need to make it any bigger than that. I think you can see that. $995. It's a USB. That's just an attachment for this braille display over here, which is what they also is a note taker, which is the second one, which is the USB LCD for braille note taker. Then we have cables. We have Quake pillow vibrator. That would be good for my hearing as well. You would be able to let's see. Get other things in here too. Let's see. Scroll down here. Oh, okay. This is the one that says what, $2,500. So the Humanware Brilliant by 32. This 32 cell braille display. If you want to go for 40 cells, which is pretty much a full screen, this 40 new generation, $3,000. These are note takers as well as braille displays. So you would be able to use it for both. You'd be able to use it to see 189 results. Okay, let's go to let's just take a look at this real quick here. But I don't know if you can see my huge screen behind this thing. Okay, this one here is cute because it's red. And I like that one because it doesn't look as intimidating. This one over here, the Humanware Brilliant by 32 cell, looks really intimidating, but it's also a note taker as well. The 40 cell, the clock with a very firm vibrating alert that goes under your mattress. The shaker, you can also put it under your pillow if you really need to get rattled up. The Braille Store Braille alphabet sheets. Now, this is not that expensive. I can tell right now. The thing that's just probably got the grade 1 and grade 1.5 contractions and grade 2. I don't know about the grade 2, but let me take a quick look at this one real quick here. This is just a page. So from what I can tell, let's see, what's the description say? Whoa. Okay, let's see. I gotta scroll up here. There's a nice convenience thing about, it says, have been working on learning Braille for some time, but find yourself forgetting which dots make a specific letter row and now and then, or perhaps your class is doing a project on Braille and you would like to give a Braille sheet to each student. Well, it sounds like these sheets are the answer. It's a pack of 25 alphabet sheets. Each Braille alphabet sheet has all 26 letters, the alphabet embossed in both raised print and Braille. The Braille letters always found directly below its raised print equivalent. Okay. That's kind of cool. So that would be a great way to promote awareness for the blind. Oh, I had a slate like this too. The Braille slate and stylus kit. Yeah. Really awesome. The Braille Store, Braille alphabet chart poster. The only problem is I forgot what grade 2 Braille was. Like I said, I only remember a few of the contractions. So let me take a look at. Alright, let me just get to this real quick here. Grade 2 Braille. Okay, grade 2 Braille. There's also grade 3. Grade 2 Braille for everyone. Grade 2 Braille contractions booklet. Oh, I definitely need a refresher course of that. I always had the hardest time with Braille. So let me take a look at this one. Grade 2 Braille for everyone. Is this written by Weiss? Because Weiss was one of my teachers. Let's see. For instant shipping, this contractions rolls and print Braille. Yeah, by the way, Braille is a really handy tool. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Learning Braille is not difficult, especially when you have the right tools. When trying to drive a nail with a flat edge or a ridge is frustrating. That's an interesting twist of expression. Driving a nail with a flat edge or a ridge. I've done that. I've also driven nails with rocks. Okay. Oh boy. All right, let's get back to the chat. I gotta admit that's a good one. Like I said, there's a lot of location rebuilding. Okay. Then the case of my eyes, my natural blindness is caused by severe myopia and lateral nystagmus. As I got older, my right eye developed a significant cataract in it, which the Can-See eye drops helps to treat. But the Can-See eye drops really don't do as well as they could because my right eye has gotten a little bit too far gone. It's done some good, but it's really not doing as much as I'd like. So basically, to start out with, my legal blindness is from birth, and of course, as I got older, my eyes just kind of started to deteriorate because of my age. I do not have macular degeneration or retinitis pigmentosa, which is good. But unfortunately, as some people have pointed out in several commentaries, they think that possibly working with computers as much as I have has probably hastened my failure in my eyes. I think that's probably the case. I've been using computers since they started becoming mainstream back in 1982 is my first one, which was a Atomic Sinclair 1000. And so definitely think that may have hastened my demise, but I already had my hearing loss is also genetic as well. So I have two handicaps to deal with. The first is my eyesight, and the second is my hearing. Hearing aids, they kind of work for me, but they don't really work because it doesn't really deal with the issue of my Asperger's and the fact how it affects the processing of sounds in my brain. So that's another issue, which is another handicap, which is my Asperger's is definitely has gotten worse as I gotten older, I think, in my processing capabilities from my ears. But that's pretty much it. Sucks. So, like I said, if you hear me pause, it just means I'm waiting for a response from you. So, or from anyone else that's commentating. So, just don't think I'm just gone silent because I'm just trying to be a jerk. Because remember, I have to read the comments, and of course, if there's no comments, I'd rather not ramble, as somebody said. Right. Don't ramble. Don't ramble. Ugh. I have to admit, I would love to get Casey Ford on here. How Casey sees it. I'll have to ask her if she'll ever join me. The only problem is, or even Tommy Edison. The only problem is that whether the Google Hangouts is broken, I can't really expect either one of them is going to be able to join me online. And by the way, for those of you who are wondering why we haven't been covering the political stuff lately, let's be honest, it's frustrating. I'm working on that pretty much through the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Service here in Connecticut to help improve my socialization skills. And I was pretty good already, but a lot of women are. The men usually have a harder time with it. But I did have some issues that I still need to work on with social cues. But then when you're also legally blind, you tend to miss cues. For example, I may not notice this, for example, that somebody's on the phone or they're talking, especially when they got one of those wireless headsets. And I think that they're talking to me, and they're not, or they're talking to a friend, and I think that they're talking to me, and then that gets kind of irritating. So I try to do what I'm doing now, which is try to pause and give the people a chance to speak. when he can. Unless they get really upset or something, I just jump right in there all the time. And basically, unintentionally bowl them over. Literally, as well. I've literally knocked people over without meaning to. And like Refrigerator Perry of the Chicago Bears, I'm big. So, unfortunately, if I knock you flat on your ass, it's not like I want to. Maybe I just didn't see you. It's happened a couple times. You know what we should do? So we should switch the questions on so they can see you. They can't really see me anyway because I'm staring at the screen. Ah. Besides, what good is that going to tell me anyway? Let's see. That's a good question, though. Let me just do that. Let me just turn the chats on so you can see me a little bit. And I can still see the questions. So let me just do that. Okay, so I'll just put the dashboard on the background here. Minimize the screen. Okay. Okay, so now unfortunately, let's see. I don't even know where I am because the screen is. I can't see my. Put yourself in the freaking corner and then you can see yourself. Oh, okay. Good idea. Okay, we'll do that. Let me just turn on the screen so I can see me. Alright, so I'm going to turn on, switch this thing, make on the desktop. CP. To be, that works. Okay, that works. Perfect. So, cut that in. Boop, there we go. No one can see me, and I can see you. Well, you can see me, yeah. Okay. But the only problem is I still can't see me. No big deal. Okay, when do you think you will return to attending Mass, as I said, for social reasons? I have no idea. I honestly don't know, because I was going to, but I just didn't go yet. I want to study the Mass, order the Mass a little bit more before because I hate going into church and then sitting there and sitting like a giant turd on the plate going, he said what? Kind of thing, but I do want to go, so I'm going to try to figure out the Mass so I understand the entrance lines, because they've changed a few things. In the 2011 edition of the English translation of the Romanium Misse. So it's not the same as the 1973 version, which was the standard for what I originally was taught when I went to RCIA. So, in addition to that, with all the flu going around right now, there's an issue is the church would be very crowded, and there would be a lot of potential risks of getting the latest flu, and I don't want to get sick. I can't afford to go to the hospital at all. It sucks you can't even see yourself. Oh, you vain? No, I'm not vain. I just want to see me. I want to see me. I want to see you. I want to see you. Okay, good. I'm in screen. Okay, that's what I want to see. Alright. From the TNCC interview, it seems like Dory has a new girlfriend. Did you know this? Did she tell you how this affects your relationship with her? No, she didn't actually tell me she had a girlfriend. But then again, as I said, I don't really think it's a big deal anyway. Me and Dory from the very beginning have always had an open-ended relationship. I know she's mentioned the name to me a few times in the past, so I just wish her the best of luck. That's all I can do. Other than that, I've just been pretty much staying to myself. Now that by the way, I got this camera cord set. Now I can move this camera to a better place if I need to. But so no, it doesn't really bother me much. I think me and Dory's relationship was kind of fizzled out anyway, because as I've explained in the interview with TNCC, it seemed to just kind of cooled. I guess being around college kids I worry about. Right. But you also do have to worry about colds and flu viruses too, especially since you have no idea if the students have been taking good care of themselves. And an instructor, professor, getting sick is the last thing you want, because it's going to mess up everything for your curricula. You're going to have to get a substitute to teach the class, or depending on the situation, you may have to basically reschedule certain lessons. So you obviously do need to worry about any kind of illness as in a university setting. I remember many years ago that University of Connecticut had a meningitis outbreak. And they also had a measles outbreak a couple times. So that is... Yeah, well, make sure you take good care of yourself. Because this one has been really, really strong this year. Even those who have gotten the fourth strain flu virus, the flu vaccine, the fourth strain which just came out, are still getting it. So it's well, that's a good thing. And if it's a class that you've been teaching for a long time, I'm sure that you, like you said, you have other copies of your lessons somewhere. You know, like you said, online lessons. Let me feel this doing. If you're talking about my specific interview, yes, I felt like I was getting ignored more than anything. But during Michelle's initial interview with DNCC, I knew it was more of Michelle's interview anyway, but I still feel people always seem to have this habit of tell me to shut up, and I really kind of wish they wouldn't do that, because I'm just as much a right to speak as everybody else does. And it's just like when I try to join Michelle on these chats, people say that Michelle's rambling, which really sucks. I don't think people can always tell the difference between our voices. Michelle, you can't go any lower than you are in voices to represent me. It's not going to happen. Very true. Michelle has tried to lower her pitch. We worked hard to change the pitch enough to make our voices distinct. But, unfortunately, that doesn't always work out too well. It was supposed to be interviewing me, and it ended up being anything but an interview with me. I'm not sure exactly why. I don't know either. Let's see. Perhaps Michelle should interview me. You have many times on your channels. Michelle has so many videos with me, especially in the last few years. Michelle did a whole bunch of videos with me during Beltane, the May 1st videos. We talk about a relationship and how we're doing. Michelle and I have written stories about, not stories, like news stories talking about us and interviewing us. So we have material. Not all of it's online, but most of it is. Right. By the way, talking about the food thing, I did get some fresh fruits and vegetables at Aldi this week. I did not buy any junk food or carbohydrates because I can get those for free from the soup kitchen. Well, you have to go all the way back to the years pretty much, let's see, say around 2011 to 2015. We covered so many times that people were starting to say, is when are you guys just gonna shut up? That's kind of what they were starting to say. Yeah, it was getting pretty bad in those early years. People really didn't want to hear any more about me. So, as far as people, where is everybody else? Let's see. Now, where is everybody else? Okay. Just me and you. That's it. Just me and you, Ruben. Don't know what anyone else is. Right. Well, we did an interview that was 4 parts long. And it was total about 4 hours. And that video is on Michelle's channel. Yes, Michelle did. She insisted on it. She said to her case manager, she says, I am not buying any cheese, any cake, any bread, any frozen pizzas. She says, I want fruit. I want fresh apples. I already have carrots. I want some broccoli. I need some orange juice. And she insisted on that, which surprised me because I'm actually happy because it was like she's explained many times, Cumberland Farms does not carry a large selection of those things. And then when she read about what Donald Trump is proposing for the USDA, she was very happy with that because you and her were talking about meal kits. And this could be a really big asset. But like you said, as what are they going to put in the boxes? Can a person actually pre-select certain things? Which at this point I don't know. Right, obviously if they throw a jar of Cane's mayonnaise in there, it would be in the garbage real fast. Because I cannot eat mayonnaise at all because I'm allergic to it. Right, and Michelle hates mustard. I hate it. Ugh. I also hate ketchup equally. Pickles. Nah, Michelle makes her own stuff. Michelle will actually make her own sauerkraut, which she does, and tends to use her rarely. I didn't even get a red cabbage. Couldn't find one at Aldi's. And I didn't want a green cabbage. But back to the videos. If you go look, you can't miss it. Hell, you probably could just search the word Lumi, Michelle and Lumi. You'll probably find something and search. This might help. Let's see. Actually, why don't we look that up real quick? Want me to look it up real quick? Yeah. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find it. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. I'm going to go back to this screen here. Okay. Let's see. Bless me, Lord. Okay. Michelle and Lumi interview, or I think it's a history. I think it's history. Let's see, Michelle and Lumi history. Let's see what we find here. MicheleMarieDalene, the history of Lumi. That's somebody else. It's not me. No, that's still kind of cool. This is a Live and Michele and Lumi Sunday edition part 2. Oh my god, how far back do you want to go? Michele and Lumi spiritual videos. Let me just scroll real down through this list real quick here, because I got the screen so huge. Let's see. Live with Michele and Lumi. Is there any way I can change the search parameters on this? Oh, why don't you show my channel since it's got it right here? Yeah, okay. Me having lunch with Michelle by Lumi and Finestra, the Hunters, that's something else. Let's see. trying to find it. This is Lumi's channel. This is my Lumi's channel. I only have a few short videos. I think most of them are on my channel. Right, so let's take a quick look here. This is Lumi's channel. So let's go to videos. She does not have any playlists set up. Let's see. Let's change from the oldest to newest. Oldest. Okay. Let's see. Oh, great. I am now on Google and YouTube too. Okay, that's an old video. This is when I actually officially went on YouTube about 4 years ago. Really. My name is Lumi Finisher, Michelle's significant other. Welcome, this is my first video from the North American Snow King Palace. Whether or not, what gives with the wacky weather from 2013, the NSA and Mr. Eric Snowden, the Discovery, Livewire, and Daredevil event. Just staying in touch. Let me just use the page down. What should I do with Michelle? The heat is killing us. One of my pet peeves. Demonic possession, multiple personalities, Michelle and I. Let's see. Interview with Michelle. There we go. Look under on Lumi's channel under that name, my 07/24/2013. My interview with Michelle 4 years ago was 8 minutes and 31 seconds. A night at the drive-in movie theater. What is my life chart? Why do I have one? How would you like to hang out with me and Michelle? It was going to be a meet-up, but no one came. Newest interview with Lumi 104. Okay, here we go. This is on Lumi's channel. Lumi and I had a early morning video, which will be short. shot an early morning video, which will be posted on her channel. Okay, Lumi and I had. Okay, we broke this down into smaller chunks. So 104, 204, 404. Okay, you need to have true faith in Mother, Father, God in these tough times. Still true. Merry Christmas, everyone. Chroma key and microphones with Michelle Marie. Just trying to be updated YouTube capture program. Those when it was working. The road ahead. Where do we go now? Interacting with your Chroma key backgrounds with Michelle Marie. The response to Susan Girth. Susan Girth, by the way, was a YouTuber who claimed that Lumi was nothing more than a demonic possession mental illness, which resulted in Lumi getting really hot and mad. Vlog 07/21/2014, Lumi's Soup Kitchen video. 07/21/2014. There's more in the world than you can see than with your eyes. Okay, what is death and what happens after we die? Life in the Victorian era. Lumi really chewed up that audience there. Do you know the difference between wisdom and knowledge? Climate change and survival. Naders well and naders slip and die. Lumi did that one. It was really interesting. People don't really know about naders slip and die except unless you're local in Winstead. And then you know about naders slip and die. Trust me. Ed almost broke his hip on it. In the middle of icy winter. 12/9th of 2014. Just how dirty is my apartment? Oh, that's a great topic. You know, we never really discussed that one. I need video ideas. Okay, let's get back to the chat so Ruben doesn't get bored and decide to snore. Oh, wait, let's go back to your chat. Let's go with that. Alright, so you gotta look at both channels. Okay. Oh, okay. One thing I'm gonna say right now to the audience about that, Ruben, I'm sure you can answer this later on. I have not exactly found any information that explains how do the legally blind keep their houses spick and span, because I know that I have a lot of sighted friends, like Sherry Heaton's one of them, that keeps saying, yeah, it's just dirty, it's cluttered. I'm like, I don't leave old food around here. No, she doesn't. But unfortunately, Michelle can't always see, and so Michelle has a hard time cleaning the house. That's the question I'd like to ask the blind people who are watching this video, or even if it is after the show, is how do you keep your house clean? Because I kind of would like to know. I really don't know how to do it. No. Okay. Oh, by the way, Michelle, you want to give the single video title? When the video is over, I will retitle this. I think it's almost over because no one's here right now. It's just us. It's just us. Yeah. All right, guys. Listen. Here's the deal. If I'm gonna stay on a little longer, it's 8:18, and I know that there's nobody on right now. And so me and Lemmy don't want to sit there and ramble. That would suck. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just wait and see if anybody else comes on the chat. So if anybody has any questions, just respond to the chat right here. Is there any way you can page anyone else to join the chat? Though we can't really talk to them on the phone. No. Crap. I can't play videos either. Nope, not until the mixer comes back, and then we can pipe sound from the computer right into the system. So, alright, well, since we're waiting for somebody to contact us, let me ask you a couple of questions. Let me switch the screen back to us so you can see us. Since we don't have to see them, we don't have to see the comments. Okay. Right here. Okay, let's change the settings. CP 230 camera. Turn off the overlay. Okay. It's this question here. Is what do you think is the biggest problem for you as far as keeping your house clean? Seeing the dirt. At least I can say with honesty is that I do not leave old food or crumbs around. I do keep up with the cat box. I do take out the garbage. I do wash my dishes. I clean the bathroom. As far as if I spill something, I mop it up or wipe it up. But I don't always see to successfully get everything. I clean up cat puke. But honestly, that's about it. I don't really have much more I can physically do. Yeah, it's working. By the way, for those of you wondering, you probably noticed that the video is not too choppy. And right now it's because we're uploading on T-Mobile at a very high bit rate. Just to let you know that. That's why recently the picture looks so good. Unlike Google Hangouts. Some of you guys have pointed out Google Hangouts was atrocious. Let's keep with the topic. Okay. One of the things is that when you have legal blindness is keeping your house clean is that if you cannot always see when something's dirty, it's kind of hard to get there and clean it. I also have other issues too with my joints. I have arthritis. So trying to get into certain positions to clean is very hard to do. Bathroom is atrociously hard because it's really, really compressed. It's almost like something you would find in a motorhome. It's really compact for, which is very common for these older buildings like this. They're not designed for the handicapped. It makes it kind of cute, but unfortunately, it also makes it really, really problematic at best. As I can't always get in there and clean everything in my bathroom. Because on top of that, because my joints, my age of my joints and everything else, my eyesight, it's hard for me to get everything cleaned up. But I don't leave a mess and say, fuck it. Nope. She doesn't do that. Nope. If I spill something, like I spill something on the stove or on the table, I clean it up right away. And I do try to keep the kitchen floor clean as best I can. But the tiles in the kitchen floor are peeling up because they're over 40 years old and they need to be reattached. So it's very problematic. By the way, do check out Lumi's channel, guys. If you have never seen Lumi's channel, it's so easy to get to. Well, let me type it in the comments so you can see it. So let me go to that screen right now. It is I'm going to type in the comment here. Get to the screen here. to get to Lumi's channel, okay, it is http://www.youtube.com/USER/LUMIFINISTRA. That will bring you to her channel. Now, we originally had a tiny URL because originally Lumi, does that still work? That tiny URL, does that still work? I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. We don't need it anymore, but let's see. I'm curious. Now, I haven't checked that out in a while. Alright, so here's how we're going to do that. We're going to go to, oops, make sure we're on the right screen here. Okay. Unfortunately, the audience can't really see this because I'm not actually showing the chat questions right now on the screen. So, if I go to http://www.tinyurl/.com LUMIFINISTRA. Because I want to see if the tiny URL still works. I don't know how long that will keep working because it's been so long. So, let's see. I'm not getting... Oh my god, it still works! I don't believe it after all those years! It still works! Very cool. Alright, so let's show people what the channel looks like since we're in here. Okay. Make sure you get the right program, Michelle. Yep, I've got to it. Alright, so let's switch to the desktop. Let's turn back on the overlay so we can see the camera again. Okay, I'm going to hit this up. Ding. Alright, so this is Lumi's channel. Let me just minimize the screen here. And you can go to the tiny URL, which I did confirm worked, if you don't want to go through typing with a long Google. And that thing was created over 3 years ago. It still works. It still works. Okay. So this is my Lumi's channel. And we used to have our web server up. So if you try to click on this, it would bring you to our web server, but it's not online anymore right now. We have the software, it's just that we never updated it in a long time. So, so check out my Lumi's channel. Here is her official fancy crazy code that they give you over there at YouTube, which is capital U, capital C, lowercase z, capital B, dash, lowercase x, capital 8, lowercase c, lowercase x, capital 9, capital or lowercase zx, capital U, capital S, 5, X, lowercase c, lowercase, capital G, lowercase z, capital N, dash, 1, 8, capital A. Or just do it like Michelle said. Type http://www.youtube.com/USER/LUMIFINISTRA. Okay, let's go to the chat so you can see that and also see if anybody actually has any questions. So let's go there right now. Here is Lumi's link right here for those of you. www.youtube.com/USER/LUMIFINISTRA. And by the way, yes, here's a tiny URL for those of you who wanted. Lumi's old and still working tiny URL is http://www.tinyurl.com/LUMIFINISTRA. So you can actually go, either one will take you to Lumi's channel. Whoa. Error, try again. Whoa, what was... Okay, where's the error? Okay, edit and try again. Alright, let's try it again for some reason. Okay, LUMI, old but still works tiny URL is http://www.dinyurl.com/LUMIFINISTRA. There, it doesn't show it. Alright, so we can't use a tiny URL anyway, but so let's try it this way. Well, just forget the fancy characters. Let's try saying it this way. Tiny URL com /LUMIFINISTRA. There you go. Hey, that works. Okay, you just have to figure out the code. You have to figure out how to put the URL together. But that's the it's kind of interesting that sees that is uncool. I don't know why. But the one on the top, the full YouTube one works. So you can always go to that one, and you can guarantee that'll work for you 100% of the time. Alright, so what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? Why don't we go back and get to my chat page here. And let me rename this video. Let's do that right now. And also check the comments at the same time. So go to the live stream. It looks to me like it's almost time to get ready to wrap it up for the night anyway. So let's go to events. And you're going to see stream health crap. Events. Live now. Okay, 04/2001. Lumi and Michele. Alright, I want to edit the name on this one, so let me do that. Oh. No. I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it either. Come on. Oh, I don't want to play it. 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 Oh, come on. Give me a break. Yeah, give me a break. Alright, we know play's fine. Alright, so I'm going to go to the live dashboard. I'm going to rename this a bit. Okay? So the first thing is, let's see. Okay, I don't need to change the code key. Okay, let's see. Turn off the comments. There we go. No need to see that part. Alright, so, okay, so let's cover this, what this is. Live chat, let's talk about this go. Okay. Legal blindness and other handicap discussion. Okay, that's going to be closer to what I wanted to talk about. Okay, all changes are saved, and we are live. Please use keyframe 4 seconds or less. Keyframes are 5.6 seconds. We don't want to teach something, guys. These frame rates may be a little slow, but that's okay because that's what works. No, doesn't necessarily mean that it looks good. It just means that's what it takes to get this thing on the air. Speaking of that, let me check to see how we're actually doing on that. See how much frame rates are. It's a little jumpy. It's staying at 20 to 150 kilobits per second, which is pretty good. But that's about it right now. Actually, it's at 1500 kilobits per second. Or, whoa, it's actually at 1.5 kilobits per second, or 1.5 megabit per second, which is really not bad at all. Let's go back to the chats. Let's see if anybody actually has chat questions or comments. It's only fair. It's their time to talk to us, so we shouldn't monopolize the thing. Wait. Right now, nobody is talking here. Right. Kind of sucks. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, maybe we should just get ready to wrap it up for tonight, because someone else is coming on right now. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. So let's do that. So switch to show. Okay. By the way, for those of you who wanted to know, with the making our cursor so big on this computer has helped a lot, because I'm having an easier time seeing what I'm doing, which is, again, isn't it wonderful thing what Apple has done. I know that making cursors larger on the PC is also possible. But I have to be honest, I really prefer the Mac over the PC, because it's just something about the PC versus the Mac thing. I know some like PCs and some like Macs. Some people like the Red Sox and some like the New York Yankees. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like just lower the monitor a little, or camera a little bit better, so it covers me more. And it's really, really a personal thing. But for me, I prefer the Mac. I know I had planned and talked about how I was going to get a BlackBerry Key1 and all that. But you know what? I might not, because I keep forgetting that the accessibility of adaptive technology for the blind is a little more limiting. And then if I was to use even my older BlackBerry doesn't really support a lot of adaptive technology. I had several Android phones, and they never really had a lot of support for the legally blind at all. It was just kind of crappy. I mean, it was minimalist at best. But for right now, it is it's 8:35, and I want to thank everybody for coming to this chat. The two gentlemen that showed up. I hope to see more of you on Sunday. I know Wednesdays are usually not the biggest day of activity, but we really would love to have more of you come on the show. And don't be afraid. We're going to get, as soon as we get our mixer back on the shop, we're going to do more things. I guarantee it. I agree with you. Okay, so for right now, I want to say this much. Thank you very much for being on the show and watching the show and learning with me and Lumi and things like that. Now you're going to go ahead and switch to the sign off screen so people can realize they can send donations to. I will. But before I do that, we do need your help. So let's do that. Let's go to the screen so I can just remind you how to help us out here. Right now, we always can use your help. We're just going to show you this. Doesn't mean we're in. When we say we're done, we'll say we're done. We'll turn the sound off at the time. So let's just go to this so you can see the comment here. What kind of stuff do we need? Well, for one thing, we need a better Mac. This thing is a dinosaur. This thing is obsolete. This is from 2005, guys. This thing is old. We really need a better Mac. One that has the ability to run the more current Mac operating systems. One that is a bit faster than this one. Again, an iMac would be fine. It does not have to have the very latest and the greatest amount of memory, but it definitely should have about 4 gigabytes of RAM and at least a 2 gigahertz processor in it, and maybe run El Capitan or Mavericks or one of the more current Mac operating system versions. And the other thing we need is, we mentioned the Braille display. I still think we should bring that up. Well, no one's going to spend $2,500. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think so either. But maybe somebody has blind family who has, maybe they passed away and they had their own personal Braille supplies, Braille equipment, like a Perkins Brailler or a Slayton stylus, and maybe they don't know what to do with it, and I would use it, trust me. because any adaptive technology that is accessible to me is donations. You can just make a donations too, as it says here. MicheleMarieDalene, 112 Main Street, apartment number 9 in Winstead, Winstead, Connecticut, 06098. If you're not sure if I can use it, you can contact me at the email address, which is also my PayPal address up there in the top, bichela3@gmail.com or bichela3@yahoo.com. As like I said, we could use a Perkins Brailler, we could use a little Braille tools, label makers, things like that, magnifiers. We could use a bigger one. I have a 4X recent dome, and it works good. I have a hand magnifier, which is generic. I don't know where I put it. I think it's over here. Careful, we got a lot of crap over there. Yeah, I don't want to knock anything over. Okay, there it is. So we can get this out without knocking something offline here. Okay. I know that Big Clive's got some of these. So let me just show you this real quick here. Let's switch this back to me. Oh, this is a real nightmare way this is set up here. So, tools, studio, camera, okay. Cut. Okay, there's no. Okay, so this is a generic magnifier. Oh, it's a 5X. And this is really, this has become my godsend. This is one thing that keeps my eyes working. It's a 5X magnifier. It has, so this is really, really essential tool for me to see small print. I use my iPhone, by the way, as a magnifier too. So when if I need, like when I'm in a store or something like that, I will go ahead and I'll use my iPhone to check the prices on the shelf near the floor, so I don't have to basically bend over into a big giant C shape just to see the prices in the store. That works out pretty good, and I just basically put my phone down by the floor where the price is, and then just go, then take a picture of it, and then I put my eyes and see what it says. It's pretty good that way. I need a newer iPhone too. When I say newer, let me make sure we're on the same page here. We're not talking about 8, and I'm certainly not talking about no iPhone 10 here. An iPhone 6S would be more than fine, or if actually preferred an iPhone SE, because the SE is a little more rigid than the 6S or 6S Plus. Same thing if anybody has an older iPad that's in operable condition. It doesn't even have to have a. It doesn't even have to be a GSM iPad, because I use it with my Wi-Fi anyway. So even if it's an old 3G iPad, it would still work because I'd be able to see with that and be able to use large print. I was going to get a 3rd generation iPad with LTE support, and I still want to. But the point is with the technology, it would really, really help a lot to be able to do anything. So you don't have to send money. Because so many people have said when I start asking for money, they think I'm going to use it for stupid stuff. And I really don't need the money. I really do need the adaptive technology. If you got the stuff laying around that's collecting dust, and you think I can use it, may it be a container of Highmarks, a Slayton stylus, a Perkins Brailler, yeah, I'll take it. Trust me. I could use it. I haven't read Braille in years, but I could certainly learn it, right? Right? Yep, she can learn it. I can learn it. Absolutely. And I've already had Braille lessons years ago, so obviously I could just refresh my Brailing practices and try to relearn grade 2 Braille, relearn it, and be all set to go. And I was getting pretty good at reading Braille, but what happened was, of course, I came home, I did the Braille book. So, of course, I was like, I didn't have nothing to read, so how was I supposed to keep practicing Braille when I didn't have any books to read in Braille? Right? And let's be honest, the Library of Congress books for Braille they were really pushing more of the books on tape at my time. So it really could have been harder for me at the time. So anyway, that's the information. I'm gonna leave that screen up again, and I'm gonna blink. I'm gonna get ready to sign off, and I will leave it up for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna turn off the sound, and I'll just leave the chat up. And then, so right now it says it's about, let's see, it's time. Okay, yeah. Alright, so let's do that. Right now it is 8:44 p.m. according to my computer, so I'm going to switch over to that sign off screen and credit, and I'm going to leave that running for about 10 minutes. So you can see it, you can write down the address, and if you have any questions, you can always email me at the addresses above, and we can talk if you have any questions or concerns or comments. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching this. Stay out of trouble, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.